Hello, hello. Hi. Hi, Otto. Hi, Auntie Patience. Hi, Namisao. Hot Pockets. Hi. Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, the other Thera. I need to erase my sketch. This one. Hi, Liz. Just gonna wait a little bit and then I'm gonna perhaps make a poll or just ask you guys what paints should I use to paint these two little drawings today. Hi, Catherine. So what do we have? We have Scotland, Denmark, Texas. Hi, Sean. Hello, hello. How's your wrist? I love how the Scottish and Quebec flag are the same colors, or almost the same colors. Oops, sorry about that. A second layer of Scotland. Oh my gosh, third layer of Scotland. What? It's almost like you should move to Scotland. Oh my gosh, I just need to win the lottery, I guess. Germany. Hey, that's pretty cool. Hello, hello. I'm doing decent. Thank you for asking. Hey, hand pain is such a unpleasant thing to deal with, mentally and physically, because it's so weird to not be able or to struggle to use your hands, because I mean that's kind of what defines part of what defines a human, is that we have these and we can use tools and do stuff. So when your hand is out of order, it's just like oh, I could read. No, I can't hold the book. Oh, I could no, I can't draw. I can't knit. I can't crochet. I can't go on a bike ride. I can't cook. It's like everything is difficult. Oh my gosh, Jinja! It's so nice to see you. Yeah, it's harder mentally than physically. Yeah, it's weird. Dumfries and Galloway. That sounds like a either a store or a yeah, a confectionery store or a boot store. Currently panic packing for move and also apartment to oh. That's awesome, Jinja. I'll provide background noise to keep you on task. Are you at the stage of packing where you open a box, you basically just shove stuff in the box until it's full, tape it shut, and go to the next one? Are we at that stage? Like the first boxes are always super like thought out and orderly, and everything is, you know, Tetrised perfectly in there, and it's just awesome, and it's labeled and everything. And the closer you get to the moving date, the messier the boxes get. I'm having black spiced tea. I'm very close to that stage, yeah. Yeah, that I remember that stage. There's a couple of things that I remember from my last move. One was the last boxes. Another one was that you really should tape your boxes shut. We had just, you know, when you fold them over and then you insert the last one under the first one, because that way if you need to add something to a box or take something out to put it elsewhere or something, like, you can still access the box easily, but that makes them really wobbly when you handle them. So the movers were not super psyched about that. Hey, Ellen! Oh my gosh, hi! Wow! It's nice to see you guys. Oh my gosh. I hope you're doing well too, Ellen. So Scotland meet up at the chocolate shop in Peebles. There's a place called Peebles. Seriously? It's so funny. Meanwhile, there's hardly ever anyone from Quebec. Oh, I'm taping for Fortress. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, you don't want a box to pop open. Ugh. The subject 23. Hello, welcome back. Oh yeah, the other thing that I learned about boxes is you really have to balance out your boxes if you have a lot of books. We have a somewhat absurd number of books in here. So you really need to figure out a way to not have boxes that are just the books. Because first of all, you won't be able to move them, and the movers are not gonna like you for that. Raining today, but the past 2 weeks have been glorious. Hey, the plants are probably happy though. You're moving over the month of June. Good thing I have a truck. Oh yeah. Hey, I forgot to erase my signature. Weep, 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 weep. Okay. So, we need to decide which paints I'm gonna be painting today. Painting with today. Yeah, words. So, options are Holbein, Roman Schmal. What else do I have on hand? I have a palette of Winsor Newton nearby too. Hopefully no friendship timeouts. Hopefully. Holbein, Holbein. Oh, that's... Okay, and the follow-up question is, which Holbein palette though? Oh. Hold on. I grabbed 3. I ordered some acrylics from Nova Colors. Ooh! Whatever is the second, that's the huge one though. Brah. I mean, these paintings are not too big. I might be able to fit this absurdly big palette somewhere. Get rid of some brush, well, one brush actually. Hey, hi Sherry. Hi Sassy Britches, hello, hello. Yeah, you don't have to see it, but I have to be able to fit it somewhere. I don't mean fit it in the camera, I mean fit it on my table. I feel so basic with my single. There are times where I wish I only had the one palette, really, because a lot is a lot is a lot is a lot. But yeah. Over the years, I've you know, accumulated more palettes. Hey, Amy, hi, hello. Who has the buns? The buns is Lise. The bunners. I have to get back to work and put you in my pocket. You can do it, Ginger. We're cheering for you. Show those boxes who's boss. Okay, I won't paint on the 2 of them at the same time, but I can at least fit it here. Sorry for that. Just opening up the water, the brushes. I have some sort of references near me. All right. Hey, Laura, hi. I like every medium from spray paint to chalk. I'm trying to imagine that and see that's perhaps why I have a bajillion paint palettes. I get overwhelmed with too many mediums, but I find it easier to switch between brands of paints than mediums. So I'm gonna start. I like to paint a little bit of like a rosier color in cat ears and sometimes the face, depending on the color of the cat. Just want to do that really quickly. Spray paint is my favorite, but I've become very sensitive to the vapors. I mean, I hope you're wearing some sort of breathing masks when you use spray paint. You don't want to incriminate yourself. Well, I mean, that might explain the sensitivity to the vapors, but you ever blow your nose and it looks... Oh, jeez. Oh my god. And then you wonder why you're sensitive to the vapors now. I've had similar things going, but never to that extent. But, you know, when you... Even just dedusting somewhere, and then you blow your nose and... yeah. There was a thing on the floor that kept making weird sounds, and it's a tiny bead. It reminds me of when you used to make... Oh, dang. Yeah, and that's with a mask. I've also had it, oddly enough, with the jeweler's cloth that I used to clean up like silver and whatnot. The red side, it's like it's two pieces of fabric sewn together. One is dark red, one is kind of light yellow. And the dark red one is the one you start with to clean up the stuff. And whenever I use the cloth to clean anything for a somewhat extended period of time, whenever I blow my nose afterwards, there's always some of the red lint product, powder, whatever, that ended up in my nose, and I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, didn't know that. Being a school custodian, the dust cake phenomenon is real. But when it comes to spray paint, be careful. Ugh. That's a peculiar palette. I don't seem to have burnt sienna in it. Okay. I need a swatch card. There you go. Where can I put this? I just sent a link to Cocoa Blacks. Ooh. Hey, Wildflower, hi. Yeah, that's a good point, Ellen. And they kind of look cool. Spiced tea is so good. Okay, please, if you go anywhere near Edinburgh, do the tour at the Chocolatorium. I know it sounds crazy, but it's so worth it. I would ask how crowded does it get, but I know Otto, and I don't think Otto would go to any place that gets too crowded. So I think in that aspect, it's quite safe. So what's everyone's favorite chocolate? We've probably asked that before, but I just bought a stupid amount of professional quality watercolor pens, and I have pens. Ooh, ooh, oh, Ellen. Let me see if you can guess who you're gonna have to send photos of that when you receive it. Can you guess which person on Instagram you're gonna have to send photos to? If you ever went to Cadbury's World, it's like that, but for adults and with much, much better quality chocolate. I think the most people you get per tour is like 12 people. That's 12 too many, but not too bad. White chocolate! I feel like it's difficult for people who like white chocolate to get a good one. I've been a couple of times for work. Wouldn't mind going back apart from the actual travel. Friendly reminder to stay hydrated. That's a good idea. The Maine outdoors. Hey, hello! Maine! I know Maine. I've been to Maine. Maine is lovely. I have a lot of fond memories of that state. And the free reign at the chocolate tasting bar, which is obviously dangerous. I love your watercolor work. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. White Chocolate Great White by Montezuma. For me, Montezuma is forever associated with Montezuma's Revenge. So I'm always a bit weirded out when I see things that are named that, even if I know that it's... that like my default on it is not the right one. Yep, I find that most brand making white chocolate aren't that great. Yeah, I'm not all that big on white chocolate, but I know people who are, and yeah, it's difficult. Oh, I saw a thing not long ago that cracked me up. You know how Hershey has chocolate chips that you can buy to use in baked goods? Well, they used to have one that they labeled white chocolate, but I think they had to change it. Now it says something like white cream. And I wonder if it's for a reason, like it wasn't passing the minimum requirements to be white chocolate. I've only ever had white or milk. Never dark chocolate, really? Huh. I like all chocolate. I want to make a hoard and roll around. You'd be covered. I already have it. Oh my gosh. Send me photos. I really want to see. Full pan set of Roman schmal, some core and schminka, and a bunch of pro. Whatever I don't use can be donated to the students at the school. Dude, you're gonna spoil those kids. Oh, that sounds great though. Rio Thompson's are chocolate bars, 2 independent chocolate maker hints. Oh, that sounds good. That's true, right? And that's 120 Canadian too. So it's like what, $100 US ish? Yeah, you can hardly find any kind of substantial professional set for that price. Hey, Galgos, hi. Yep, it's actually illegal to call it white chocolate if it doesn't contain cocoa butter. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so that means that the the Hershey stuff doesn't have it. Ooh. I wish there was a similar kind of rule or whatever, so that whenever something is labeled dark chocolate, it doesn't have dairy in it. So you don't end up with like dark chocolate and you look at the ingredients and there's like modified milk ingredients in there. It's not even like legit dairy byproducts. It's some sort of processed weird stuff. I'm not generally greedy or selfish, but stay away from my chocolate stash. I will crouch on it. And if it's white chocolate, a good brand will list the percentage of cocoa butter. And so if you see like a package saying white creme fudge candy, they already are. I've been clearing the stuff I bought while working at the... I don't want to use... I'm all of the art teacher's favorite custodian. The best way to get good white chocolate here is a cake decorating shop that supplies chocolate to local chocolatier. Yeah, there's a similar, like here it's in, you know, the little bakeries. Sometimes they will have like, what's the name? My brain is mixing up all the chocolate names. Kaibo? Anyway, like the fancy thing that comes in discs. That place has gold chocolate. Well, hold on. Gold chocolate can be two things. It can be, you know, gold leaf chocolate, which is very extra. But there's there's a a color of chocolate that we're starting to see more of, and it's kind of this, yeah, this sort of golden color. I think they call it perhaps blonde chocolate or something. Yeah, and I mean, I guess you can always reuse the supplies. Like, if the paints are not awesome, you can donate them. No, ruby chocolate is more red, but there's one that's really like that's almost like yellow ochre color. Hold on, can I swatch it? Yeah, it's a bit like, you know, this color, kind of blonde. It's caramelized white chocolate. Ooh. I've never had a good white chocolate bar, so it always just tastes like a solid bar of cream. It is usually quite sweet. That's true. That's a fair point. Is it okay to link it? Yeah, but you might have to link it in the Discord if the link. I think only moderators can share links in the chat. Gonna switch to a smaller brush. What color should I make this cat? I kind of feel like making the cat a black cat. I've been having black cats on the brain. Lindt, Lindor, milk chocolate, or white chocolate. Not a lot of dark chocolate people in chat. Huh. I always make sure I finish these streams starving. Another order of cheesecake. I don't have black on this palette though. I seem to have two neutral tints on this palette. Does it show that I haven't opened this one in a bit? I don't remember what's in it. I mean, I can tell mostly what's in it because I know the Holbein paints quite well, and I have this reference thingy, but they're not labeled. So I'm really wondering why I have two neutral tints in there. What was my idea back then? Mix a black. Yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm just a bit, oh, do I have a red and a green that would, oh, perhaps, but I usually use like a sort of burnt sienna and some sort of ultramarine blue, you know, the mix of brown and blue to some degree, but I have some weird colors in there, and I don't have a lot of browns. So I was able to mix that gray for the armor, but for a black, I'm gonna try mixing something with this red here, like one of these greens. Yeah. I don't think I picked the right one. Here. I'm just picking up whatever's on the palette to mix in with it. PR264 and PG7. I know, but I don't know what's the I don't know what's the pigments on my palette. I'm really going at it by eye. That's the thing that's not quite there yet, but kind of close. Kind of close. That's not too bad. It's a bit light. I'll start with that. Working on photo of the hole currently, commandeering my mother's cutting table for sewing. Oh wow. I'm going to a tattoo convention tomorrow looking for an artist to update my ankle tattoo of a grapevine. Ooh. I want a watercolor field with lots of leaves. Ooh, I hope you find a I hope you find an artist that fits that style. Has anyone used the Fumui? That's what I'm using right now. Just bought a travel set and 8-piece set. Oh, that's kind of what I'm using actually. I'm trying to use them up a bit so I know a bit more what they're like when I'm at the point of filming a review of these. But I have the synthetic travel set that are like this. There's 3 brushes. This is the middle one. I like that these screw in. I say as it won't screw in. So they're really firm and nice. And I also got a box of fake squirrel brushes, which are these. I only have a few sizes out because that's the ones that I'm using right now, but yeah, I quite like them so far. Haven't used them a lot, but loving them. The first set I had gotten from them was a bit, was more hit or miss. Some brushes I think had a few issues, but I think they've redone their entire like range. And the new brushes seem to be really nice. Face ache. I don't know if you guys can hear the dog barking. I have no idea what's up with that. Yeah, that's like the travel brush set I think I got. They are really nice. I like them. They seem to have a really nice point. Like I said, I haven't like really used them up, but so far, really pleasant experience using these. It's a store that sells travel brushes for a good price. Oh, that's probably gotta be for the US because for Canada their prices are not that great. Also, they sell the enameled palettes, but at such a markup. What about synthetic pedigree? Yeah, that's squirrel, basically. There's quite a few brands that do great fake squirrel. Train wigs that come out. Thanks for the suggestion. I'm still new to mixing. To ask. Not with the brush. Do you all think paint pucks are good or bad? I think they're not necessary. Oh, no, it's not the Paul Rubens, it's the Strathmore Ready Cut paper. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. This one. It's quite handy. And I like it. It's still their, like their superior, like their best quality of paper. Like Series 500, that's their best paper. And it's cotton paper. And you get like 25 sheets for about $20. I mean, it's not that bad. A paint puck is a something that you perhaps see more often with acrylic or oil painters, and it's basically a thing that will drop to the bottom of your cleaning jar for your brushes, or you can also use it outside of the cleaning jar, but it's basically a bit of plastic that has little spikes on it or a texture, and you basically use that to like rub your brush on it to clean it up better. It's definitely useful with acrylic as far as I can tell, but with watercolor you kind of don't really need it unless you're using a really big brush and you use like a really staining color like phthalo blue with it and you want to wash it out thoroughly, like you're gonna need the brush soap, the paint puck and everything. But for most of the time I feel like you don't really need it. I use paint pucks, I love them, but I'm also very gentle with my brushes, so I haven't noticed them messing up my brushes at all. I've only used them for washing brushes. I get the soft silicone ones that suction cup in my jar. I even got one to use as a fidget toy at work. I mean, why not? I'm crazy careful with my brushes, but my tips keep bending anyway. I've not needed a paint puck before and I clean my brushes very well. I agree that with thicker medium it may be necessary. Yeah. Pick a fall. Oh dude, I have to go see that. Hold on. Okay. Just give me a second. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Whoa, that's really cool. Holy moly. Dang. Wow, how did you come across that? That's amazing. There's like a bajillion freaking paints. I am using Holbein paints at the moment. Yeah, Sonnet is basically the student range of White Knights, which is a Russian company. Do you know why the person was selling their collection of paints? Dude, all that for 120. I think that one of the Daniel Smith palettes alone is that price. I'm probably being way too picky with my brushes, but every time I think it's clean, when I use brush soap on it, there's still... Yeah, that's normal. That's kind of what happens with... hold on. That's kind of what happens with the brush soap. You can paint with a brush that when you rinse it and you wipe the extra water, if it's clean, it's gonna be good. But yeah, when you're done, you might want to have a like a thorough cleanup session of your brushes, but you don't really have to wash them with brush soap every single time, in my opinion anyway. Rage quit art. Oh, that's sad. I would show it on the stream. The thing is I'm filming with my phone, so I can't really easily set it up from the computer. No, but I got a feeling this time. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm... Oh. But I mean, it's a if should that be the case, it's a really positive thing to note that the paints will, you know, keep on creating things, not on their own, but you know, they won't collect dust or be thrown away. Any idea about Milyang? I must have reviewed them at some point. Finally, I reached black. Show what? I'm curious. Oh, Ellen scored a bundle, an impressive bundle of professional paints off of Facebook Marketplace at a really good price. I need to figure out more colors. More colors! I don't often start with a plan. This one really doesn't look like a Holbein color, to be honest. I don't know what it is, but anyway. Yeah, I don't always start with a plan, but I work a lot on the basis of filling in the colors that I know what they're gonna be first, and then I build it up as I go with whatever color theory things I feel like using. Like, okay, so if I know that the eyes of the character are going to be this color, do I want to go with things that will contrast off of that? Or do I want to go with things that will blend in more and put the contrast on something else? You know, that kind of stuff. As I said to the fellow, they won't be going to waste. What I want yours will be used gratefully by the kids at the school. Dude. To be one of those kids, like, what, 30 years ago? Can you imagine? Instead of those big tempera pucks. Hey, Paulo! Or I might do something different for the eyes. Sometimes it's difficult to get the highlights right, so I just paint all of it and I come back with white gel pen or white gouache and pen them over. That also works, and it can be easier to manage too. Sorry, I'm currently munching on one of the... Which one is it? And I mean, how did you manage to keep one for so long? And on a purple note, PV19, Primrose, and French Ultra makes it beautiful. That's Winsor Newton, right? But yeah, that's basically what Rose of Ultramarine is. I thought the cat you were painting was a Russian blue. It's gonna be a darker cat when I'm done. But yeah, I kind of like that some black cats have those really like dark orange eyes. It's such a beautiful color. Hey, Phils! Hi! Or Phil? Yeah, Phil. F Ultra is French Ultramarine, so PB29, but with granulation. Literally everywhere I turn, there are more acrylic tubes. I am outnumbered and it feels like I'm straightened. Okay, still trying to recover from work and... Aww. You need to talk about something that you enjoy, so let's talk more about food, I guess. Or painting, or both. Painting, food. I do love to work with chocolate. Wish we had something similar. What do you mean? Oh, like the chocolatorium. Yeah, okay. Yeah. If your cat hero could speak. Finally purchased the full set of granulating Holbein. They are so fun. Oh my gosh, I know what you mean. It's finally starting to pop up here and there locally, but it's so expensive. I think the set of 15 ml, okay, it's the 15 ml tubes, okay, mind you, but it's still like $250, $300 Canadian. The 5 ml tubes, the set is about 150-ish, if memory serves. It doesn't always serve. Every time I attend these live streams, I write down every color combo people suggest so I can try them later. Hey, Keep! Hi! Hello, hello! Painting food as in covering food in paint. Painting on the food. Well, I mean, some people paint food, like some cakes or whatnot are really elaborate and they paint them with, you know, food coloring. But you can also draw and paint food. A lot of people make like food journals or food diaries, food sketchbooks, that kind of stuff. If I remember right, the blue is marine blue from Holbein, which is PB16, but I also mixed it a bit with some of the stuff that's already on my palette. The only reason that I will clean up a palette after use is if it's one of those palettes and or paints that will dry and then flake off, because that happens, and it's not like just with cheap brands or cheap palettes or whatever, but I've had it happen with like my schminke palettes that I use less. The mixes here, like the paint starts flaking off, and that's super annoying, and I can't stand that. So those I might clean up after use. But this one I don't think I've opened in years. And I think maybe there's just one color. No, I don't think any color started flaking off, so that's a good one. I do love truffles, but I have to watch out what I eat sometimes. What about painting food on food? That's meta. But I have just asked me if we're talking about painting or food in here. Yes. Pretty much, right? Okay, I can't remember which name is my username on there, but I think I'm Michelle B. Boop. I missed which paints were the Holbein granulating colors. The set of 24. Is it? Yeah, I think that's it, right? Oh, I'm gonna have to use my favorite Holbein color. Completely as is, straight from the huge pan. Oh, I have this set. I haven't opened it yet. Hold on, what? What set do you have that's unopened? What? What do you guys use for your water jugs? It really depends. At the moment, it's a set of pet bowls. I'm setting up a pochade box, and I'm trying not to use empty mackerel tin for the water container, even though it fits. I mean, why not? Why not use the mackerel tin? If it's working well, why fix it? I have the whole set of 24 before Holbein divided them according to their names. I think it might be just for people who want just a few colors, but yeah. Oh, the Holbein granulating. Oh, okay. For water pots in my bags, I use two Oz pill bottle. They fit into their pockets perfectly, and the pill bottle keep decent seal for way longer than you'd expect. The mackerel scent is difficult to remove. I don't know why that cracks me up so much. You have to dip it in a bleach or something. Sherry Miller. Oh wow, I ordered mine directly from a Japanese seller and they were a lot. Yeah, but keep in mind that's Canadian currency too. So it's gonna be a bit higher anyway. Sorry, I have been distracted by Oreo. Oh, hi, little guy. Sometimes you just have to shove your cats. Absolutely, always. use a variety of glass yogurt pots with pink punks in them. I use a big old square Tupperware bowl to hold them all together. I don't travel really, but if I traveled with the paints, I have an Nalgene bottle that I use just for paint. It's not one of the biggest one, it's a somewhat small one. But yeah, that's what I would use on the road, or sometimes I don't bring any container if I know I'm gonna have access to stuff, you know. But I would try to go for something that is not glass, so that you won't be, first of all, it's gonna be less heavy, and then you don't have to worry about breaking it. The Faber-Castell Click and Go pots are really nice. The only thing I don't like about them is the color choices. I'm not too fond of their color selection for these pots, but I like them. I know they would get dirty really quickly, but I would have loved a white one. I asked Lena about this a while back, and she pulled out these perfectly sized thin caviar glasses that... Yeah, you have to be able to afford the caviar though. Or to, you know, have access to a place that can afford the caviar and that tosses away the containers. I put a magnet on a plastic travel pill lotion container. Oh, that's a good idea. I admit I tended to... Yeah, those are also practical while traveling. You can refill them easily too. How thick? I don't know. Like thick, like what? How big they are, or? What do you mean? How thick? Lana! Hey! Hello, Lana! Proper way to say thick. Wait, what? Thick. Hey, does anyone know how I might be able to mix a dupe for the shade Tralio Blue? It's a... I think it's a phthalo blue based color. You can look at the color on the Da Vinci website, look at the pigment composition, and that might help you figure out how to mix a dupe of it. It's Da Vinci. It's a very cyan aqua kind of color, if I remember right. I remember seeing it, then looking at the pigment info, then not being really impressed and moving on. So I'm guessing it probably has like PB15, one of them, and then a white pigment in the mix. And then perhaps like a tiny bit of PG7 or something. Ayo! Nailed it. You guys are gonna see that with the delay, but I saw the I saw the post from Laura after I listed my guess of colors. Ah, oh yeah. I don't have any useful skills, but I know my pigments. Ev knows what she's talking about. I know my pigments. Can you imagine, like, you're in school, like high school, and you have the usual classes that they have you choose if you're lucky, but you know how there's always a music class, and they try to teach you how to play an instrument and to teach you how to read music and all that. Can you imagine if instead I could have picked a class that was like, oh, you can also pick the pigment class? And it's there's overlap in the kind of skills, like being able to recognize a note, being able to recognize a color. Oh, but I would have probably had a much happier experience with the pigment class than the music class. The music class was miserable for me. Oh, it was so bad. Never mind studying for math exams or whatnot. The biggest studying I had to do was for the stupid music classes. And they were mandatory, so I couldn't even dodge that. I'm waiting on the PB1 from Rosa Gallery. Yeah, me too. My favorite streams here from Ev have been when she does the mixing triads. To be honest, that's what I do at home because, oh, I mean, everything's a skill. You can learn it. Hey, I'm glad the videos are useful. The cat is no one in particular, just a random black cat with an armor and a sword. That would have been amazing to take such a class even today. Yeah, I know. And when I finally moved on to college and was studying graphic design, we had a color class. But it was a bit mixed. Like it's in this setting, it's in the mindset of studying colors for printing and that kind of stuff, so not necessarily colors for art, really. It was a peculiar experience too. I wish I had music classes as a kid where one learned a real instrument and not the recorder. Oh, no, you don't, Paulo. Let me tell you, the experience of sharing a clarinet with a bunch of other kids, past and future, is not great. You had to buy your own reeds, but that's about it. You would have to borrow and clean up and maintain the actual mouthpiece. I hated playing the clarinet. Ugh. I also hated playing the recorder, mind you. The only way you can play the recorder is by playing it bad. That's sort of the only redeeming way that you can play that instrument and get away with it. Did you play the clarinet too? Yeah, I had to. Clarinet was basically the one instrument they would shove onto the students who were terrible at everything. Like, they would try to get the kids that already knew how to play drums and guitar to be the bass player and the drums. And then they would sort of, like the, what's the name of that instrument? You know, the little silvery flute that you kind of play on the side. You know what I mean? Those flutes, they would try to get kids that knew how to play these. And there's a couple of other instruments they would try to get the kids who, you know, were a bit more music savvy. And then you kind of had the clarinet guys. Oh, I hated it so much. Also, my art classes were like, look at that building, now draw it. Also bad gouache. Really bad gouache. Was it the tempura cake? That cat could easily be one of my boys. Are your kitty somewhat long-haired kitties? They have such deep... I mean, it could be. I can ascribe to that brain cannon. I started to play the clarinet as an adult 14 years ago, so I really... Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's perfectly good. I just find it disappointing that it's sort of the only artistic mean of expression that they shove onto you. Well, I mean, back then. Like, music classes were mandatory, but not everyone is going to be good at music. Some people are going to be better at drawing, you know. But we didn't really have any kind of drawing classes. So guess what we would do? We would draw in all the classes. There you go. I play clarinet and recorder too. Bleh, I love... Oh, I mean, if you can play the piano, that's already good. Day trip to the parents. Long way, but it was nice. Oh, that's awesome. My oldest came home with that ring on. Not a transversal. It's a flûte traversière in French. In the early 2000s, and she hated it. I mean, I love the sound of a terrible recorder because it makes me laugh. And there's a school not too far from here, and sometimes, occasionally, perhaps once or twice a year, in the summer, there's a kid that comes home blowing chaos notes on his recorder, and it just makes me laugh so bad. I find it so funny, perhaps because it taps into my hatred of that instrument. A recorder is those plastic flutes, you know, the beige plastic flutes that we all get to play. And you can sort of dismount them in 3 pieces, and they're usually made by Yamaha. And they also come with the flute grease and the cleaning thingy. I mean, it is a flute, but that specific flute is called a recorder in English, I think. You can do it, Jinja. Show those tubes who's boss. Bert is short and Ernie is mid-long. So that's Ernie. Let's make this Ernie. Is Ernie a badass? I mean, they used to be made by Yamaha like 30 years ago. Now I don't know. I haven't seen one up close in years. And they would always get stuck. You know how you can take them apart, like the top part, the middle part, and the bottom part? And inevitably, you would always end up with a recorder that had one of those parts loose or stuck or both. Seriously. Flute is too nice of a word for recorders. To make them plastic is a sin. It's cheap. I think to make them at all is a sin. Listen to the ears. No, it just makes me laugh so much. I just cracks me up. Everything you just said about recorders is so... Oh, he's a lab cat. Dang it. I'm gonna have to redraw these guys. You have to message me the personality either on Discord or Instagram, and I'll try to take notes. I need to keep a document of notes of cats to take inspiration from when I draw. I'm a big fan of recorders though, but not when played by cats. See, I'm the other way around. It just cracks me up. Like, you know, the shitty flute kind of thing. Oh, that's sort of the only thing that made me feel better about my history with recorders. I was so bad at it, so bad. And the teachers were so lost. They really had no idea what to do with my lack of skills. The worst instrument to have a kid play are the violin and oboe. Oboe? Please stop killing. I'll see your oboe and raise you a trombone. Oh, that's awesome, Laura. Perfect. I see all your wind instruments and... Well, isn't the bagpipe a wind instrument? But bagpipes are awesome. I think I need my instruments to be somewhat chaotic. So you either need to play your recorder really badly or to have something like a bagpipe that's just so chaotic. Who came up with that? But it's awesome. I love it. I have some beautiful wooden recorders from... Oh, that sounds beautiful. They sound lovely. However, the music teacher across the hall from my art room... Plastic recorders, yeah, it's a... It's really... Most are always out of tune. Wow, I think that's excellent. I think I'm channeling my hatred of music classes in these moments. Oh, it was so miserable. Miserable. First chance I got to stop, like the first chance I got to pick something other than music, I took it. It was terrible. I love listening to music, but I can't do anything with it to save my life. Imagine learning bagpipe in a random neighborhood. I mean, you have to invest in a soundproof room at that point. That's the thing. Bagpipes are meant to be intimidation weapons of war. I mean, definitely. They're meant to blow your ears out and make the enemy run away. I am so here for it. Please don't get me wrong, I adore the bagpipe. It's just a very hard instrument to play it right. Yeah, I can see why. What is it? You you have to press with your elbow on a bag that you fill with a thingy that goes to your mouth. And wait, is the thingy that goes to your mouth, that's also the flute. But then there's a bunch of other flute bits that pokes out of the bag of the bagpipe. Like it is chaotic as an instrument. Think a wolfpack howling at night to remind everyone else to step away. The louder the louder you can be, the better. Hey Alexandra, long time no see. There's a guy that shows up at a park we like to picnic at and ease off. Sorry. The Unipiper, was it that guy, the Unipiper, is he the one that also did that video where he basically did that routine but dressed up as Darth Vader? Because that's a good video too. I think one of the things that destroyed me was Lana saying maybe he just needs a place to practice. Because I'm like, well, yeah, duh. Of course he does. I just don't think he's found it yet. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm so hot. Oh, no, I'm sweaty. Too much laughing. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Unipiper dressed up as Darth Vader doing like circles with his bagpipe that blows out flames is one of those videos that lives rent-free in my brain. It's just so good. Okay. I can do it. I almost rinsed my brush in my tea first time. And I think it's good for your health. Yeah, I just had the big workout. Your cheeks hurt a bit. I think the bagpiper also has a flame-throwing bagpipe. He does ECDC. Whoa! See? Bagpipes are pretty cool, right? Not many instruments you could modify to blow flames out, you know? Sorry. Alright. Stretching a bit. Oh, I missed something magical. Like, you know me, Ginger. It probably was nothing, but just the kind of nothing that makes me laugh a lot. Supposedly, not sure, the US has the most bagpipes. Imagine if they all went off at once. I love it. I love it. I love a good bagpipe. I don't think we have a I don't think we have an equally chaotic and awesome instrument here. We play spoons. Trying to think what the quote-unquote traditional Quebec music is played with. And it's usually a lot of like violins and kind of quote-unquote hillbilly instruments. You know, like the wash basin with the string on it, that kind of stuff. Yeah, spoons. I don't know how else to describe it. You can indeed play spoons with a set of spoons, like just two kitchen spoons that are about the same. And what you do is you basically place them like back to back. Hold on, I'm not a spoons player, but I can grab a set of spoon and just try to. Kind of works as a sort of a percussion instrument, but basically you take a set of spoons, and the way you place your hands around the spoons or something, you kind of have a space between them, and then you kind of use your hand in your lap and you hit them up, and they will hit each other depending on how you maneuver them, and you can make a beat with that. So yeah, they would use a pair of spoons as an instrument. Peux-tu ramener mes cuillères?
Veux-tu jouer de la cuillère?
J'essaie de démontrer c'était quoi jouer de la cuillère. Pas que je suis capable d'en jouer, mais...
On va essayer à la cuisine.
My grandpa used to play the spoon, see? My grandmother would play spoons, but it was when she was younger and a lot of alcohol. Usually it's either somewhat lighter spoons. The ones I had are quite heavy. Or they make wooden spoons also for that. Which probably sounded a little bit better. Mouth harp juice. Oh yeah, that too. The jug. Yeah, the jug. Yep, exactly, Ginger. Good description. Spoonman by Soundgarden. I'm lucky surprised how quickly. I mean, I just went to the kitchen. My apartment is really not that big. Also, no, I can't really play the spoons. Like, okay, it's not the most complicated instrument to play. Fine, but I don't have a good set of spoons. Like, my soup spoons are really hefty and really beefy. I think it would have been just completely unpleasant if I had whacked these together, just like really loud and not fun. There used to be a late night, not our current day late night kind of late night, but like evening show here that was it was in French, but it was basically called the Canadian Evening, La Soirée Canadienne, and it would be a a roving TV show that would go from Quebec village to Quebec village, and record in their in their big in whatever like ballroom they kind of had, and they would play like traditional Quebec music and like a big party back in the 60s. 70s. And they would go to every villages. So sometimes you would be like, oh, I have to tune in the TV on that day because it's gonna be cousin Bob on La Soirée Canadienne, you know? That kind of stuff. And they would play the spoons. A lot. A spoon band full of grandparents. And the bagpiper with his flamethrowing bagpipe. It has the same energy as the music guy in the Mad Max movie. I should have known the Unipiper was in Portland. I've been feeling for years that I should go there to find my kinfolk. Oh man. Oops, I think I painted over something I was not supposed to. Oopsie. Red onesie guy, yeah. The English version of that in Canada was Don Messer. That was like the name of the guy with the show that would go on big road trips to party with the locals. If you start a Scottish pub, you could call it Bagpipes and Spoons. Be a great restaurant, play live bagpipes and spoons. We call that parrandas in Puerto Rico. And the entire barrio joins in. Yeah, like a big party, like a big neighborhood party. I'm not necessarily for us dividing up in clans, but I feel like we should have our own, like, watercolor nerds, tartans, where the colors are, you know, based upon pigments. I think that would be pretty, pretty cool. Could be location based. You know, like for the Scottish watercolor tartan is these colors. Yeah, it was East Coast based, but Don Messer and the Islanders were something you were not allowed to talk during even the reruns. I mean, we already have the Quack crew. Yeah. I love the Witches of Scotland. tartan. I want a scarf or something. Ooh, I'll have to check that one out. I wonder if it's in my book of tartans. Tartan. Rabbit hole brain has to check. Would it be in there or would it not be in there? Modern and international tartans. Oh, really? Oh, Princess Diana. Fredericton. Katsushika, Newfoundland. I'm sorry, what? What? Okay. Les tisserands de Laval. Hey, Québec. Oh, it's okay. It's what's on the page. Okay, I get it. Oh, it's a new one, so it's definitely not in here. Because I don't. That's not a new book. It's an old book. Go back. Okay, I'm back. I'll have to check that out. Sounds beautiful. Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze. Yes, no, yes. No. His sneeze never came. I hate when they do that. Like they kind of tease you, like they're on the edge of your nose or something. Oh, I'm glad you guys think so. I thought I needed to, but I forgot that with chat and everything, I paint kind of more slow than usual. So I don't really need to paint at once, but I could do a little bit on this guy too, since I don't really know what to add to this one yet. Scientific name Sneezes interruptus. Have you ever sold your art on colored? Yeah, I sold them as PDFs for a while. Yeah, we usually only see time-lapse paintings demos, so I'm not sure there's much to get from watching me paint in real time, but oh, I mean, we can see for that, Laura. How would one turn digital pictures into pictures printed on watercolor paper? Are there online services that can... Oh, I don't know for that. I know that Otto made a video a long time ago on printing on watercolor paper. But yeah, you need a way to print with waterproof ink, yeah. And I'm thinking perhaps, and I'm not sure, but perhaps if it's hot press paper, you can use a laser printer. But yeah, I'm not sure. Debates about whether that damages the... Oh, really? I didn't know that. I don't really use them. Yeah, you would need to be able to feed it thick paper. I'm so mad at our current printer because it's supposed to be like it's a newer thing, and it's supposed to be like, you think newer is gonna be, you know, just as good as the very old cheap printer we had before, but it doesn't handle paper well at all. The previous printer I could print on 90-pound watercolor paper without any issue. This new printer, if you put anything that is not printer paper in it, it just, it goes full printer. I haven't tossed it because it's still, you know, it's one of those with the ink tank systems, which is a great idea, honestly. But I don't know why everything else about the printer side of that device has to be so shitty. Pardon my French. The ink tanks is an excellent idea. I don't know why everything else is so bad. It doesn't have to be. I'm in the market for a new printer scanner. I would say don't. Dude, you don't want to have a printer. They're just a pain in the ass. If they're the type with cartridges, the cartridges are always dry for some obscure reason. Unless you use it all the time and then you run out just as quickly, but you have printed more with it. I understand needing a scanner, but printers, I mean, you kind of need one, but it's a battle. trying to figure out what colors I want to paint his outfit, and I don't know. Oh, I might go for let's see. I kind of like that green. Might try that. Oh yeah, I can see that, Ellen. And I can absolutely see the like how that would be a justified purchase in this case, but it's just so I still haven't evolved beyond the grudge I hold for printers and their misuse of cartridge ink. I just hate it so much. Is that Holbein green gray? No, it's not. I think it's a mix of palette stuff and olive green. Burr mix. Oh, hey, Gabs. Hey. Palette stuff. Did printers? Almost. Sorry. The Holbein Perline green is also really nice. They call it shadow green, but it's a really nice paint featuring that pigment. I tend to find it a little bit more intense than other brands I've tried. So I really like it. Oops. Something that never gets easier is to paint just inside the lines. That's always difficult, no matter what. Still can't do it. Especially during the pandemic when her cells blew up. We had to go from 2 printers to 6. Oh, dude. The noise of those 6 printers, though. Home printers are a scam. Better just getting... You have to have access to a printing place, though. That's a great color for a coat. I'm glad you think so. I would wear a coat with that color. It's kind of like an army green, right? It's pretty common. What's for dinner, Laura? Manufacturers know they can't sell printers infinitely, so they make the inks dry up quickly. Or the machine... Yeah, I know, but it's so aggravating. Sadly, I need to be able to print at home. I just figured I might as well get something that scans artwork too. Yeah, sure. Bake it. That is quite a greamy dreen. A greamy dreen. I love me a greamy dreen. Sorry. Baked chicken and some rice and beans with the fried plantains. Oh, sounds delicious. Oh, the question, yeah, what's the best thing you ate this week? The Pro Epson ones aren't too bad for noise, and we had space enough. Oh, that's great then. That's awesome. I have a couple of friends with the large Epson ones, and they do a really good job, but whenever I look at those printers and I see that they use something like 6 cartridges, I nope out of there really quickly. Dinner, homemade chicken pot pie with... Ooh, sounds delicious, that too. I may do Sundays? Oh, dude. I'm jealous. Greetings from my partner. He was a bit confused by the bagpipe talk. Had a nice fresh Vietnamese katsu boon. Huh. Is it some kind of a fusion mix? Because usually katsu is Japanese. We love cotton candy ice cream with pistachio. Whoa, what? Save me some. Oh my gosh. Over here it's really cold and gray and gloomy. So no ice cream for us. Oh, who doesn't want to deal with cyan, and light cyan? So it has even... How many cartridges are in there? Like 12? I would go bonkers. That's just way too many. Light cyan, like... Who hurt these people? Chicken katsu, yes. Definitely fusion, yeah. Isn't katsu usually pork cutlets? Summer soup, not supper soup. I don't know, but it was too many, frankly. Seriously. The student council kids came around with pizza they had left over from setting up for their movie night last night. Free pizza tastes the best. That's so sweet. I just lost my puddle. Do you guys have that? Like you mix up somewhere in your palette and then you cannot find it again. He has a really fluffy tail. I have a photo reference, and although I couldn't quite capture the adorable fluffiness of the reference cat, he is really fluffy, and he has a really fluffy tail. Overall, a really handsome fella. Talking of free pizza. So husband and I used to work at a university when we met. It was Freshers Week and they were giving out free pizza to students. We were talking about it in the office. How we got a slice here and there. Free pancakes and waffles. Oh, dude. He disappears and comes back with a stack of 5 whole pizzas he managed to get for free. I think I put them in there. He showed he can provide. Do they have pineapple? Pineapple. Pen pineapple, apple pen. I'm not gonna say anything else. Okay, I got it. is a very cursed song. What song? I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to make Otto angry. Massive green flag, yeah. If he showed up with a bunch of wood, it would be weird, but pizza is 100%. You skip all the steps. You get straight to the point. The thing is wood can be useful, but it's not always useful. Especially not in a urban setting. Or like a dead bear. Do you think they thought he was a student? I don't know, we never needed wood at uni. Any shares? Yeah, that's the that's also a key part in this. Because it's one thing to come back with 5 pizzas, but if you don't share them. He was so cool about it too. We were all freaked out, and he was just like, "What?" Just asked, and they gave it to me. No, he was honest and said we were a bunch of staff. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Sorry. Just may have seen him try to lie, and it was hilarious. It would be weird if he just sat there and ate the 5-hole pizza. It really would. It's like, do you want to share? No. No, I'm good. Okay. Yeah, and eat 5 whole pizzas. That's also impressive. C'est le dumpling qui fait des sons? The cat dumpling is making noises. Honestly, if you have a clipboard, the middle ones work best, and the right attitude. You can get away with a lot, but the attitude is the key thing. Gotta walk in like you own the place. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop it here. I like to, take a break and then come back to these to do the finishing touches with a sort of fresher eye. Oof. Also need to stretch. Oh my gosh. Ugh. So I will say thank you guys so much for being here today. Oh, Barbie, you're coming in just as I'm leaving. Oh no. The video will be available on VOD, so there's that. But yeah. Did we give the black cat a name? Maybe? Feathers? I don't usually name my guys. You've seen my the extent of my naming abilities with Adventure Cat and Night Cat and Space Cat. So if you want to name this guy, that's fine. But I'm not gonna. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being here. It was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate that you decided to spend some time with me, with us on this. I don't know about you, but here it's a gloomy Saturday, so you always make me smile. Aww. That's really kind. Maybe you can draw and paint a sequence scene with them both. I could. I always could. I'll try to remember that, but yeah, might do that for a future review. Because I always need, drawings for reviews, so. Good to see everyone. Hopefully I can be back sooner than a billion years from now. I mean, as long as everything is good, Ellen. That's what matters. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for spending your Saturday here, at least part of it. It was a lot of fun. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, or you can hop on to the Discord server and take part in all the discussions we have over there. It's always a lot of fun. I will finish these guys sometime this week, and we'll probably post images on Instagram. And yeah, that's it. I'm not sure what I will do for the next stream, but I'll think about it. And again, if there's anything you would particularly like to see, you can drop suggestions again in the comments or on Discord and all of that. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great weekend, and see you all in the next one. Bye bye.